Hi, let's see one of the question related to the concept of indexing. Guys, the problem might be very lengthy, but once you understood the concept, it will be very easy. Okay, fine. Consider a database of fixed length records stored as an ordered file. Stored as an ordered file. The database has 25,000 records. Means they have given clearly total number of records are 25,000. It's better to write in small sentences when they have given the form of a para, right? Total number of records are 25,000 with each record being 100 bytes, meaning that record size record size they mentioned as 100 bytes, right? Of which the primary key occupies 15 bytes, right? So if we say primary key, you can say it as key size is 15 bytes. I can say clearly as key size. The data file is block aligned in that each data record is fully contained within a block. See guys, this point is important. The data file is block aligned in that each data record is fully contained within a block. What does the meaning of this one? So I have explained two strategies, right? One is a spanned strategy, another one is a unspanned strategy, meaning that in unspanned strategy, whatever the data records are there, those records are going to be placed fully within the block, right? So the given strategy they are following is unspanned strategy. That is what you have to understand from this statement. The database is indexed by a primary index file, meaning that they are using here simply primary indexing. Primary. Guys, what is the necessities required for us when you are going to apply for primary indexing? So it contains the data should be in ordered file. Yes, that is what they have given already. The data is in already file, and it should have a key. It should have a key, meaning that there should be a primary key, and it should have an ordered file. Yes, right. And they have given clearly the primary key size also. Primary key size also they have given as 15 bytes, right? So yes, we'll try to read further, which is also stored as a block aligned ordered file, meaning that the primary index file also storing as block aligned ordered file, right? What does the meaning of this one? If I am going to have a hard disk, this hard disk is going to divide into block by block, where your records are going to be stored completely aligned within the block. They are not going to be spanned. Right? Now, for this particular data file, if I say this is a kind of a data file, we are going to create one index file, right? We are going to create one index file that is, as per the question, it is going to be primary index file, right? Now, here you are going to get 4 records according to this data file, right? Meaning that the number of blocks are there, that many number of records are going to get, right? Now, once we have done this one, again it is supposed to divide into blocks. Right? Guys, you can go through the earlier video so that you can get the clear idea if you are having any kind of doubt, right? It is supposed to divide into a blocks, right? Now again, in this particular block, the records are going to be in unspanned manner. That is what they are saying, right? Which is also a kind of block aligned ordered files. They are going to be aligned in the form of a block by block, right? So this is one block, another block, or if I say these are records, this horizontal complete radical is kind of a block. This is block 1 of the index file, this is block 2 of the index file. That is what block aligned ordered file. The figure below depicts this index, right? Whatever the structure that I have drawn, the same structure they have given here, clearly understood, right? This is one particular block, and so on, block, right? This is a kind of a data file. Guys, as I am trying to explain, it is going to take more time, but when you are trying to solve it, it is going to take very less time with your practice. Data file, and this is a kind of an index file. index file, right? So in this index file, it contains a primary key field and a block anchor which will be connected like this, right? That is what block anchor primary key and a block pointer. This is what they are saying, the index file, and this will be data file, and primary key occupying 15 byte, and all those going to be some kind of data. So no need of here this particular diagram also, but to make it clear, they have given the diagram also, right? Yes, we'll try to read the further. Suppose the block size of the file system is 1024 bytes, right? Means they have given another parameter, block size. Block size is 1024 bytes, and a pointer to a block occupies 5 bytes. What are the meaning of this one? Pointer to a block, right? Mean that this is going to be a 5 bytes, right? So I can say simply as block pointer size is 5 bytes. The system uses binary search index file to search for a record within a given key. You may assume that the binary search on the index file of B blocks takes log B base to block access in the worst case. Right? You know this sentence, all the things. Given a key, the number of block accesses required to identify the block in the data file. That may contain a record with a key in the worst case. Means what they are specifically asking is, try to read here, the number of block accesses required to identify the block in the data file. Meaning that once we are able to perform binary search operation, we can able to identify where my record is, so that it will be connected to the respective block. Right? That is what required to identify the block. They are asking here specifically, you need to identify the block, not the record, right? So that is very simple. Means if you are able to apply simply binary search algorithm on this, log bi base 2, so that you will get the which block the data contains. So that is what they are asking, right? Yes. So what you can do, how we are going to solve it? First, can we find the total number of blocks here? Yes. The reason is, if you would like to find out the number of blocks in the index file, first you need to find the number of blocks in the data file. How many number of blocks are there in the data file? Is there anywhere they have given? No. But they have given the block size. And they have given the record size also, right? So you can calculate easily the number of records per block. Right? So if the block size is 1024 bytes, record size is 100 bytes, total you are going to place a maximum of 10.24 records. But according to the question, it is of unspanned, meaning that I cannot able to place the part of the file in another block. So I can able to place only 10 records per block. Right? If I am going to place 10 records per block, how many records I am going to have? I am going to have 25,000 records, right? So 25,000 records need to place. How many blocks are required? Then simply I can say as 25,000 by 10, which is equal to 2,000 blocks are required. 2,500 blocks are required, right? So like this, you need to have 2,500 blocks are required. Right? Meaning that in the data file, whatever the records that I am going to have, I am going to have placed, after placing them, you are required to have 2,500 blocks. And according to primary indexing, the index file contains how many records? The number of index records is equal to number of blocks which are available in the data file. So number of index records are here now. Here now, I'm trying to write in the blue color. Here now are 2500 records. 2500 records, right? So now, if it is going to have 2500 records, now each record is going to place in one particular block, right? Now here also, you have to find out the number of blocks, right? So how many blocks are required to place 2500 records, right? So you need to calculate. So in index file, what is the record size? Record size, if you remember the concept clearly, record size in index file is equal to primary key size plus block pointer size. So what is the primary key size here? 15 bytes. 15 bytes plus block pointer size is what? 5. So total 20 bytes of memory is going to occupy each record in the index location. In the index location. Okay, 20 bytes. Okay, fine. If each record is going to take 20 bytes of memory in in index file, how many records are going to place per block? Per block, simply we can go for 2500 index records by 20, which is equal to, guys, here it is not 2500, it should be like number of records are how many? Records per block means 1024 bytes. One block size is 1024. Total number of records I can able to place is one record size is 20 bytes. Then you are going to get around 51. So 51 records per block I can able to store. Right? If I can able to store 51 records per block, then how many blocks are required to store 2500 blocks? Right? Simply 2500 by 51. 2500 by 51, which is equal to, let me calculate. (2500 by 51), which is approximately equal to 49.019 and so on, right? It should be seal value. So you required 50 block accesses. You required 50 blocks. You required to have 50 blocks in order to store this entire records. So this entire record, right? Once they have stored this entire records in 50 blocks, now can you able to apply some kind of binary search algorithm? Yes, right? If I am going to apply binary search algorithm, you are going to have log 50 base 2 is the number of block accesses required. Which is equal to 6 blocks. 6 block access, right? Once you are able to identify the particular block, I can able to go for the respective block, right? Here the question is number of block access required to identify which block in the data file, right? As identified, I am going to have 6 block access. Right? Hope you understood clearly. Thank you. So the answer here is 6.